Mano Beach, esquece.
How you doing today?
Yo, man, I'm blessed, brother. I'm blessed. How about yourself?
Uh,
I really appreciate you coming on. We've been cooking this in the pot for a little while now,
yeah.
and
Oh,
a couple things that I noticed immediately upon encountering you on the internet. It's weird sounding. I met somebody,
right.
but right from the rip, you showed encouragement. You didn't even know me from a can of paint. You
Right.
posted on your page, your personal page. You've got a lot of followers. Hey, I like these guys doing this podcast. They have a positive message. And that's severely lacking nowadays, man. So it immediately gravitated me towards you. So I go, okay, man, this is a real dude.
Yeah.
Secondarily, so I want to talk about that. But the most exciting thing about you to me is you're a very charismatic person. Every story that I watch you on, every reel that I watch you make, it's sort of captivating, man. And the reason because of that is because your true authenticity bleeds through. I know that I'm looking and viewing you in your raw, authentic form.
Right.
And that's special nowadays, man, with all of the fakeness going on.
Yeah. That's the only way I can give it. You know, when you've been through a lot of pain and a loss and hurt, uh, that's the only thing you have left to give. You know, I don't have to know you to love you. I don't have to know you to show your support. Most people support people they don't know because you're not clouded by all of the characters. So we as humans put a character on to protect ourselves, but when you've been beat up by the world, that character goes away, and then all you got left is who you're supposed to be. So that's always what I present every single time. You know.
Absolutely, man. Now, let's talk about that a little bit because I know that's something that you wanted to go into. You already touched on it. You got that way through pain and life experience. And I've certainly, more than most, can relate to that. I became who I am, figured out who the hell I am and what I'm supposed to be doing here on this planet through pain, suffering. And it's funny because what caused me most of that pain and the suffering was playing the part, was being the actor. So the solution kind of it fixes the problem, but it's like self-inflicted. So I don't need you to go into specifics or anything, but I do believe that some discomfort, some pain, some sort of suffering in life is going to bring out your true authentic self. And a lot of times we shy away from these periods. We run away when what we really need to do is sort of face it, work through it, and then you get this growth that we're talking about.
Right. I don't mind being open about anything I've been through because you never know what your story or what you've been through could help someone else that's not ready to embrace, the pain and heartache. And pain and heartache is not bad. It's actually medicine for you. You know, some of the best medicine for you, not that medicine's great, but the best medicine for you doesn't always taste good. It doesn't always make you feel great at first, but we need those things. I needed those things to happen to me, from financial to women leaving me to not having my kids. I could get on to a lot of that because I know there's others that are going through it that are not willing to open up and share that because you feel vulnerable. But I remember you were saying about the flow, like you was talking about Bruce Lee into the flow, man. I was like, that's my walk of life, bro. Like I adapt to wherever I'm at. I don't if I'm in a rough neighborhood or a rich neighborhood, or I'm in a corporate meeting or just on a corner shop talking. Like you're gonna get a flow from me every time. I'm gonna shape myself. And you're gonna authentic me, but I'm gonna shape myself to where it doesn't disrupt what you've got going on. But yeah, we need to embrace our pain. Or I've been in 4 different hospitals.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I don't mind. I talk at schools. I speak at kids. I speak to all type of people. And I always start this way because it makes people feel as if their problems is not so bad. You know, it's the best thing you could do. And that's what really got me on to like tapping in, you guys. I was listening and going through a lot of the things many weeks ago before I even said anything to you guys. I was tapping in, because I do that because some people will play this, oh man, bro's got this going, so I'm gonna talk to him, and there's no genuineness there. But when I hear you speaking, especially when you just put this post up, right? You just put this post up, and it was like, man, only one person got on my YouTube. I was like, bro, but that one person needed to hear you. He
Yeah.
needed to hear you. You can't put a price on that.
Mhm.
To affect a life, you cannot put a price on that.
Yeah.
One of my mantras is it's in you, not above you, right? No matter how big a problem is or how big of a goal you want to accomplish, it always starts from in here or in here. That's where my name comes from, inside, you know. But yeah, bro, it's we need to embrace it.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is like that because once that I lived a life of severe degradation and misery, you know,
Yeah,
and nobody was showing me the path. Nobody was, giving me the way out. And I got to a place where I'm at now, where it was like, besides the financial comfort, I'm happy, man. I'm peaceful. I'm more loving towards people. I'm successful. I'm able to maneuver myself through this life of craziness pretty
right.
effectively, very effectively.
Yeah,
And I couldn't even, keep 5 cents together 10 years ago. So,
right.
and here goes the biggest thing was it was so easy, man. It was so simple. It was simple changes, simple shifts of perspective that I just viewed the world differently on a more grand scale. Like, okay, these are my problems, but this is the universe and I'm part of that. So I have to, move accordingly.
Right.
So then it didn't matter if it was one person listening, 50 person, 60, 100. I got a couple videos on Rumble with a couple thousand because we're moving to more space of free speech like X. I just got done a live stream there and Twitter because Facebook and Instagram, they do a lot of, censoring content and things like
Right.
that. But so every time I'm getting ready to like go, man, I've been doing this for a long time and I'm not getting the accolades that I feel like I'm working for. That one guy will reach out. It's not the first time that happened, but it's like,
I'm sure it ain't.
it ain't much. I'm not saying that, but like the universe will give you that one guy. You're starting to feel down on yourself. You go, no, you're doing it, man. You're changing lives. And then if it's one, it doesn't matter. Dude, that's a whole life. And then imagine what that life can do if he begins that same journey to now he's changing more lives. In fact, we talked about it a couple episodes ago. I got together with my friend Manny Wilson and did a sport related podcast because that's his genre. We were talking about prime time. Dion, he's one of my favorite media characters, godly man, righteous man, always positive and confident regardless of what's happening. And, we were saying all the people hating on him and people hating on people like that. And it's like, that's counterproductive because we need people like Dion, like myself, like everyone who's shining and making major moves in the world, exceeding expectations, reaching new levels in their business, reaching new levels in their sport, in their whatever their aspect of life is, to show the next generation that it is possible. And I talked about this experiment they did with fleas where they kept a cap on the bottle and had them reproduce. So then the babies were hitting the top of the lid and not knowing that they could jump like 20 feet, man. And then they took that lid off and they never jumped more than that height. So we're doing a disservice to the generations to come when we hate on people that are better than us, man, because we need them so we can look at and go, if they did it, I know I'm capable of it.
Right.
Right. Like you're saying, you're being vulnerable. You're putting your story out there. You're encouraging people. That's exactly what we need too, man, because we need to lift our brothers and sisters up so that we can all shine together, man. There ain't no evolution in holding each other down.
Yeah, and you better yourself by I say, I don't got all the answers, man. I'm really a student in life, and it's just I feel that you can really learn from. I like to be around people that are better than me, that are greater than me, that'll go harder than me. Now, I go fucking hard, right? But for excuse my language, I don't know if we cuss on here or not, but okay.
Yeah.
So I know, but you need people that are better than you, or maybe better is not the word, but whatever, that are doing bigger things, because that's going to challenge you to do more. Then you'll learn more. If you go around here acting as if you know everything, you'll never grow, or you'll stumble and bump your head pretty hard and realize, oh, I really didn't know nothing. They say the more you read, the more you find out you don't know. Like, so so that is my thing on that. And I say this, if you're the smartest, the most prominent person in the room, that's a room you shouldn't be in.
Mm.
I mean, I can't function in a space where it's just like, oh, bro, I just want to see what you're going to say and what you're going to do.
Mm.
Like, how I'm not getting any benefit out of this. Now, I like being an asset in the room, but I also like to be surrounded by assets as well, because I may not know what's going on on this side of the world, or I may not know what's going on in this type of market. So I need to. Oh yeah, let me get this. Let me jot some notes down. Let me, to build myself up, so I could be a phenomenal force, or I could be that, what? Let me go hit inside, man. He actually listened to what I said. Not only did he listen, he applied the information. Now, we can read all day, but if you ain't applying the information that you're soaking up, you're doing yourself a disservice, So if I get around that type of energy where it's like, man, I already got this done, I really sway myself away. Like, you know what? You got it. Cool. I'm just going to mosey over here, go over here and see if I can learn something else. But yeah, man, that is, I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say this. That is terrible.
Man.
That is terrible. I learned a lot from my lady. A lot of people don't big up their women. My woman is my foundation in my world, because without her, I wouldn't have found myself.
Yeah.
Okay? I gave up doing the murals, the artwork, and the videos that you guys see, and documentary stuff. That's my passion. I love hearing people's stories, to see what they've come through. But I had to go through losing my kids, losing companies, investing so much, not realizing that I wasn't putting in myself. I was putting so much in others. And then when it was time to put in myself, there was nothing, But she had to be like, yo, you're worth something. Do you not see yourself? Look at you. And for those that are watching this, take a second, get up. First thing, I know most people get up, they pray, whatever it is that you do, just in your shift, get in that bathroom and look at yourself in the mirror. If you have a hard time really looking at yourself, that's when you know you got a problem. That's when you know you got a problem. Think about it. You ever just, we do this all day. We'll get the phone and we'll but look in the mirror where it can't talk back to you.
Wow. Yeah. No, man, that's powerful stuff. I can remember a time when I had a very hard time looking at myself in the mirror, but I never thought of it as such a literal tool. Like, hey, if you're in a space where you feel stagnant, or you're not making growth, or you're not making move, maybe you need to go take that long look, like a physical, you hear all the song. It's once again, like I was saying, the simplest answers are the most profound, man. But I want to touch on a couple things that you talked about, because you're saying some great stuff, and I don't want to just skip over it. So
no, go ahead.
Giving it its just due. You said something that I think is the foundation of all knowledge in any human being, and it's realizing that you don't know things. Because there's so many people that, in my way of life, where I was raised, men, boys, growing up, we were very bravado. We got this. We're tough. We're strong, and we were encouraged to be that way. And if we weren't like that, we got a lot of flack from the parents, the uncles, the grandparents, things like that. So I went through too long of my life thinking that I knew it all, man. I was the coolest dude in the room. I was the strongest. I was the toughest. All these things that were absolutely false. And you couldn't tell me nothing. I wasn't listening to nothing, because what I was saying was more important. Everything, I was the center of the universe.
Right. Right.
And when I got to the point, I'm in state prison for the 4th time in 10 years. I did 6 years in 10. I go, okay, I'm finally ready to admit that I must not know some things. In fact, I don't think I know anything because this is not working. And that's when I started to sort of, I didn't know what to do. So I just go, I'm going to do the opposite of everything that I'm inclined to do. And guess what? My life started getting better. So realizing that you don't know things, even if you're not like me and you just, I don't know anything, always leave yourself open to the possibility to learn more, because there's levels to this, man. No matter how successful you become, no matter how spiritually sound, emotionally well, financially stable you become, there's always something new to uncover.
Right.
Next, he said, knowledge without action, because that's actually a Buddha quote. And you know that even when you study in Buddhism, you could run into Buddha quotes that may not necessarily be something that he said, but regardless, it was stated that he said it, and it makes absolute sense. And you just said it. I don't know if you know this, but knowledge without action is ignorance, is what he says. And that's a powerful statement as well. I think we need to stop reading, studying, and start doing and being. And then lastly, the competition aspect, where you say you want to be the shark in the room, you want to be the asset, but you also want to be in a room with other sharks, with other assets, man, because everybody has a natural gift. Everybody has a natural strength, a natural talent. So something that comes easy for them may be difficult for you, and vice versa. So when you start to put these assets together in the same room and you're swimming with the sharks, it's iron sharpening iron.
Yeah.
And you all better together. Stop viewing each other as competition. And not even lastly, the very most important thing that you said, stop viewing your woman as competition, man. That's equal to you. That's going to sharpen you more than anything. Your woman's going to level you up faster and further than anything you possibly could do out there in the outside world. But the trick is, you have to do it for her. You have to be her back. You have to support her. You have to give her your energy like she's giving you. And then the dream that you're manifesting, now you got 2 people working towards that thing, and it happens twice as fast, man. Amazing stuff. I knew this was going to be a good episode, brother.
Yeah, but man, everything that you're saying, I'm talking about. She's walking by right now, and it's and and mind blowing, bro. Some of our biggest deals have came from her speaking, not about the business, about allowing the person or the person that we're about to do business with to tell their story about their life. That motherly seed, oh man, you can make the coldest, hardest person in the world open up, and you just don't know what they'll do for you. We've been blessed multiple times, just off that point. There's no competition with me. She's the top of her class in school right now. There would not be a day that she'll work, not a day. But she's working on what she needs to do and what she wants to do. And I support it every day in every way. I'll go some days no sleep. I'm ex-military. I can do that. I don't play no games. When it comes to this household, now I still got that alpha male mentality. Don't get me wrong, but I understand there's a point where you have to get on that leash. Hold on now. Today we ain't gonna be the pit bull today. We might be the terrier. We might have to slow down a little bit. But when you got 2, I mean, can't nobody break it, and it blows people's mind how we are able to. We can make jokes, crack jokes on each other. We can be mad at each other and be mad at the world at each other, ready to burn the world down. But we understand at the end of the day, you can't break that connection. You can't break the connection, And that is what a lot of us men are missing. We want to dominate everything. Hey, my old man from the old school, you can't say our name wrong without we finna scratch. No question. There's no, hey, I'm gonna go get the what does kid say? It's the stick now or all this stick. No, we finna go right now, blow for blow. But every war can't be won like this. Sometimes you got to win a war with compassion. Sometimes you got to win a war with knowledge. Sometimes you got to win a war with just. And depending on how you use that tool, will change your aspect on life. Our life literally changed. I'm talking about from me and her laid on the floor with dogs and animals. This is facts. I'm not
Mm.
ashamed of it. But where we at now, you will never hear me utter a complaint. Now, I'm not saying I don't get mad, but you won't hear a complaint from me. How dare I complain about anything? Because somebody else has it worse. And they haven't stepped in that light to be able to say, it's okay that this is happening to me. I can smile that this is happening to me because I know the next person may not be able to deal with it. They might tip the scales and go where they can't come back. And let me give you your flowers right now, brother. I don't like doing this with everybody. That's why I pick and choose. I can show you on my phone right now. I can do this. But when you're genuine and the universe knows when a person is speaking their truth, and I don't say I got a superpower to find that out, but you can know, you just know, like, yeah, I gotta sit with this brother because he's gonna put me on something that I didn't know. This is important. This is needed. You are the medicine for a lot of people that I talk to daily. I won't let you get off this show without giving your flowers, your acres. You know what I mean? Period. And let me ask you this. King Comebacks. Break the name down. I know this is your show, but I always want to ask you that. Break that down for me, please.
Well, something that I love about myself, because that's part of my journey. When I was first, man, I mean, thanks for saying what you're saying. Like I'm literally tearing up, bro, because
We both finna be dropping tears on here, brother. I don't mind.
I work hard, man. So it just like you don't get it every day, man. So thank you.
Well, you'll get it from me.
I didn't like myself at all. I hated myself. I hated the whole world, and now something that I love about myself is my ability to come back. I was an IV drug user, Camden, New Jersey, hanging out with prostitutes, crackheads, bums.
Yeah,
I loved it. I sat there all day. I didn't care as long as I could find a way to, I robbed, I stole, I beat,
Yeah.
And I was a real piece of shit, a real piece of shit. And once again, I'm all right talking about that guy today because I'm not him,
bro.
And I stand as a testament, man, to what people can accomplish. Like I'm on top of the world now, man. I got 3 strong sons. My wife is an amazing person and a beautiful lady. We got bread, bro. Like I do what I want when I want at all times. I never go, I can't, or I got a budget. No, dog. I live my life the way I want. And I sold hella drugs growing up and did all the crimes, and I never had money like I got now. Right. And then on top of having money, I got peace, man. I'm not looking over my shoulder. I got love in my life. My people love me. Like I can't walk in the room without my sons coming, Dad, and my wife coming rubbing on me.
Come on.
I can't not love myself, man, because like this is what I got now. And I did this just by following these simple steps. And then besides that, on the King of Comebacks, it'd be small fall offs, man, because through this journey, it's not all easy. It's not all the vision that I just painted for you in that space of time. Right. It's days where I still struggle, where I don't want to do what I got to do. I don't want to do my duty, which is working out, studying, working on the podcast, being the best possible human I could be for my wife and my mom and my sons.
Right.
I still sometimes I just want to watch the show today, turn on a video game. And I come back from that. I continue to come back from that. Even if it's a day I eat bad, I have a bad day, and I want people to know that it's okay.
Yeah.
But just keep popping back up, man. Keep being that comeback king and do what God put you here to do.
Yeah. Man, you're one of the most highest paid power speakers out here. Les Brown said, you fall, as long as you fall on your back, you can always get back up. And you're a walking testament of that. You're a walking testament of that. And you know, I took my trail down the alcohol lane. I used to take every second check I got from the military. I'll kill it all at the classics. I did a couple of trips around the snowflake lane, if you understand what I'm saying. I did a lot of coke just so I could stay up to keep my first family. Let's be honest. I don't mind speaking on it. I understand. I was an alcoholic. When I say I couldn't stand myself, I was ready to go back to war as many times as I could. You know, uh, but it made me so much of a better warrior. Now, some people I was bad, man. I had the short man syndrome. Take if you guys know what I'm talking about, that means if I felt as if, and a lot of this stuff is documented a lot, you know, but it's at those times, man, you like you said, angry at the world. Instead of me blaming myself, I was blaming the world and anybody that crossed my path. And instead of, and she will tell you, hell, she done had some pistols in her face. She done had some baby text in her face. But you know, listen, here's a great story. And the guys in North Dallas, they'll tell you this. This is facts and confirmed without saying too much, without getting no one in trouble. Okay. I was so dedicated to my grind, right? This is bad and good at the same time. Okay, this is a lesson for entrepreneurs out there. I was so dedicated to my grind. I had to do some film footage for some artists out here. It was in an area where it's not so great where you want to bring family and things like that. But I wasn't gonna miss out on that bag. So I said, all right, I'm finna go do this film, and I brought my pregnant lady with me. Now we're in the VIP section, and my thought is like, I'm gonna do this job and get this film done. I'm gonna get ghosts. We're in the VIP section. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Good. Murphy's Law is not gonna pop up today. Not while I'm out here getting this money. Yeah. Man, we'll get out there and some things pop off. Somebody comes over to the VIP section that's not supposed to be there. And you know, when someone's ego gets destroyed in front of a lot of people, emotions come out. One pop goes off. Now everybody's scattering. Now I got my pregnant lady in this club. And everybody's scattering. And my first thought is, I gotta get to her. Now I got her straight. We get to the car. Now here's when the kicker kicks off. Get out. We getting down the road, red light, and whoever that person was got so angry they pull up on the side of us, pop out with the baby tech. Let me tell you guys something. It's always great to go get a bag. It's always great to go chase your dream, and I go hard. But when you're getting to the point where you don't see you're putting your own family in trouble, you've got a problem. And that was my problem. But that competition that you talked about earlier, that I gotta win no matter what. When people say they go balls to the wall, man, I'm gonna cut my balls off and all type. I'm going all out. I gotta know. I gotta make history wherever I go. And when you get to that tunnel vision, it's like, yo, now you're acting like you're a soldier. Now you're not thinking, hey, bro, you got responsibilities, man. Is this video that important? Is this moment in time that important? You know, and that's when you really start questioning yourself, your manhood. Like, you know, I look at my kids now, a lot older now. This is years ago, but now my kids are a lot older now. I'm looking at them and I'm starting to see traits of myself. Like, ooh, he's gonna be a dog. Oh man, I gotta get on this now, because if I don't get on this now, he's gonna be a bully in school. Because you know, I was never really picked on in school, but I was the shortest one, and I wasn't gonna have that happen to me. But although there's a lot of people that deal with that. But with that story being said, we have to figure out something that you said earlier. I have the time to do whatever I want. I don't have to go work for nobody. I can, if I wanted to just sit here and squat away and do nothing else, I wouldn't have to do nothing. But that's just not me, you know. But that dog is still in me. I just understand how to control it. I understand how to control it. You know, I understand how to control it. And that's one of my darkest stories when it comes to this grind that I'm on, you know. And I commemorate you, bro. I've done a lot of county. I haven't done any. My brother just got out. And shout out to him. Shout out to Steven. I'm proud of him. He's been in since I'm what, almost 40. He's been in down there my whole life. He's my younger brother. So it's when I hear when I hear y'all speak and you overcome, I champion that, man. I've done a lot of war, bro. My first tour, 15 months. Second tour, 13 months. I was only in the States 6 months, right back out, you know. And sometimes I get caught up in when I leave out that door, it feels like I'm going right back on another mission, you know, and to be able to separate. Sometimes it's hard to separate reality from what isn't, you know. But being able to, this is what got me into doing the interviews and sitting, because it helps me being a veteran understand, hey bro, it's okay to be you. It's okay, you can knock that wall down. It's, hey, you ain't got to be on red all the time. Hey, put the safety down, bro. You ain't got to pace count everywhere you go. I pace count my whole house. I can walk around my whole house, around the whole yard, all the way to the mailbox with my eyes closed. Trying not to cry on your show, but it's moments like this that make me understand it's a reason why I'm still here when I shouldn't be. And many people will tell you that. Even my enemies will tell you that.
I think that a lot of people could relate to all the things you're saying. And I made a little list so I could kind of recap.
Yeah.
The first point that you made about being an alpha male, but working with your lady, you're learning the ability to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Now, that is very important for us, as, you know, tough alpha male, to share with our brothers. And, you know, this show's for everybody, but this moment in time here is for our brothers to let us know, like you said, you know, you can let your guard down. You don't always have to be tough. We're not always in competition.
Yeah.
Moving on, something that I truly believe, and I think you're on to something here, I think your old lady's on to something, is when she was pushing you in certain moments of your story, it wasn't about business, but it was more like, you know, who you're dealing with and what kind of people they are, and you being a better person. And I used to always tell my boss this when I worked a job, when I worked a 9 to 5. And you know, something that I always talk about creating greatness is figuring out how to transition from the 9 to 5 to living life on your time. And it starts with getting that first month, you know, a month's salary stacked away. That way you're already prepared for anything, but we're not talking about that.
Right,
what
right.
I told him was, don't worry about me or anything I'm doing here on your facility, because I'm constantly working on becoming a better human. So everything else falls into place. When you walk that road of self-mastery, you check your impulses, you check your compulsions. You're brutally honest with everything within you. You know why you're doing things. Don't lie to yourself. Lie to the world if you have to save face. It's okay. Wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, it is absolutely okay as long as you're not bullshitting yourself. Look, this is where I'm at. I know now where I'm at, and I don't like this about myself. So I'm going to try to change. Once you make that subconscious note, boom, you just set the seed. So it's not going to happen once. You have to tell it again. I did it again. I don't like it. I did it again. I don't like it. So that's that. Focus on being a better person. And I'm speaking to everyone now. And I'm telling you, your life will fall into place. If you focus on yourself as much as you focus on your job, that girl, you know, the social media nonsense, whatever you're focusing on, sitting watching Netflix, going out to eat, going out partying, going clubbing, buying crap online. If you focused your energy on just you, you'd be able to do all that stuff, and you'd do it perfectly. You'd do it amazingly because you're the absolute best possible. You don't have to not do that stuff, but get yourself straight, man. And then you can go back out into the world and do whatever you want to do. And sometimes getting yourself straight takes a little bit of isolation, a little bit of separation. But I want to keep going because now we're getting into the meat and the potatoes, man, the story. You know, that's a lot of craziness, and I have some similar stories, but I'm not going to go into them right now.
Right.
I can say this. Every time I got in one of them situations, and I talked about this with Manny as well on the Primetime Salute, chasing that tunnel vision. Everybody talks about being locked in, chasing. That's my show used to be called Chasing Greatness till I was in Alaska doing cold therapy, realizing what the hell am I doing? I'm already great, man. I'm creating, bro. I'm not chasing none. So I started going back to my football days and go, no, I'm not chasing none. I'm not on tunnel vision, none. My head's on a swivel. Right. I'm staying aware of everything, every possible threat, every potential variable. But my goal is fixated. It remains the same. And that's why I talked about the last episode, Relax and Take Notes, is that I believe in plan A, B, and C. Because, yes, the goal doesn't change. The farm, the Joe Rogan-like progress on my podcast, that doesn't change. But the modes and the means and the methods may, because I have to be adaptable. I have to be able to adjust to my environment and as life is happening now. A lot of times when we get fixated on it has to go this way, it has to go this way. Then when it doesn't, which it undoubtedly will not, because we're talking about the world, we're talking about chaos turning into order, then you get all frustrated and you don't accomplish your goal. Because now you're going to go drink or now you're going to go party because, it didn't go my way. Well, the world may never go our way, So I think now you've learned maybe that tunnel vision, I want to chase my goal. The dream don't change, but maybe that tunnel vision, it may not be the best possible method.
Facts. It was a terrible method. You can't see that sight. You can't see that sight. You can't see that T-bone coming.
That was terrible.
But yeah, you're exactly right, brother. Yeah, man. Oh, I'm glad I'm doing this, bro. It's you don't get to have these type of conversations with everyone. It's normally goes left. And I love the way you're doing this, bro. You're actually listening, you're jotting the notes. And
people have an agenda. My thing is to reach as many possible ears with a message of positivity and good energy. So I have notes. But I have no agenda. I don't want to direct it, so we just go and we flow. But we'll go about another 10 minutes, man. I mean, we talked about a lot of it, authentic. Not being authentic is the source of a lot of your problems. Avoiding the fakeness, the growth that we all must go through, the adversity, the difficult times, the realization that what you're going through is creating the person who you need to be to succeed, embracing the losses, understanding that pain is a lesson, and how to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
I'm telling you, man, that's the most comfortable thing for me, to be uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. Because that's when your natural powers come out.
I wrote that down. That's where all the magic happens.
That is the magic, yo. Like we want stuff to manifest like right now, right now. Realize it's already here. Mm-hmm. It's already here. Once you realize that, and you, even with the words I say, I'm so particular on certain words I say, the vocabulary. I think before I speak now. A lot of going through the military taught me that too. Just now speak. Mm-hmm. Then soak it in, gain information. All right, boom. Now respond. Applying that in my daily walk has made me a better person as well. And a lot of soldiers aren't able to do this. Before long, they get agitated and ready to get off. But this is needed, man. I will say it again. This is medicine. For the men out there that are watching, that will be watching, because I'm going to be sending this to as many men that I know that needs to hear this. It's okay. And if you do get an opportunity to, lock in with this brother. Because I feel and know and realize now, after really speaking like this to you, you're going to change many of lives. Even if they don't give you your flowers, you're doing it now. For real.
Hey, man, well, that's all right. I appreciate you giving me mine. I feel the same way about you, man. That's why I'm having you on. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I think, like you said, it's important for people to know that we're here. We've all been through similar situations. We're not broken. We're not dead, but we are. Sometimes we do struggle. Yeah. And when you do struggle, there's always people like myself, my podcast, Creating Greatness, my email is creatinggreatnesspodcast@gmail.com for anyone listening. anything that we didn't cover, or you want us to cover, you want us to talk about, or maybe you want to come on and talk about, I'm certainly interested in hearing from all those folks. King of Comebacks as it displayed on your screen on all the social media outlets. Just, I guess, wrap it up. Talk about anything else that you got going on, anything that you want to tell the people, any final thoughts?
Oh, yeah. Final thoughts. Shout out to everybody. Hope you guys have an amazing day or wherever you're at in your time zone. Just know that you are important. You are the star of your own universe. So make sure you control who's in your universe in the world. Everybody's not accepted, and that's okay. Shout out to all the artists that I'm rock with. I'm not going to be like specifically saying names because, man, you forgot about me. No, shout out to all the artists, everybody doing a thing. Big shout out to, what is it? The film, they just did a casting on. It's a new series they're doing out here in Dallas. It was my first time ever going to a casting call, bro. Talking about sweating bullets. But it was awesome. But we'll talk about that later. But yeah, shout out to them and shout out to everybody doing their thing. I appreciate everyone that's been supporting. Big shout out to my veterans. Shout out to all my veterans. Salute you guys. And shout out to everybody that's locked down, that's about to go home, that you don't know that you're coming home. You're coming home. Stay strong, man. That's all I got. It's in you, not above you. That's my mantra, man. And that's it. 7 million is not enough.